Hello everyone and welcome to Hytale Guides. In this video I'll be making a brand new custom weapon because I've seen a lot of positive feedback on my last video, so in this video I'll be showing you how to make this very cool spear that you see right over here. So let's get started. Before starting to do anything, I would recommend going right here to the Help tab, then go to About and make sure you have the latest version of Blockbench. After doing that, also go to File, go to Plugins and make sure you have the official Hytale Models plugin installed, also the newest version. After doing all of that, we're ready to start modeling, so we're gonna scroll down over here, select Hytale Prop and then create new model. Right here we're going to select 64 by 64 as you're already used to. File model, we're gonna name it Soul Spear. Wait, I mistyped that. Spear. Confirm, and now we're ready to model. You might not have the same environment as me, you might not have this model of the player right here. To enable that, just go right here to preview options, preview scene, set it to Hytale right here at the bottom, and then check Hytale player. Now I've seen some comments on my last video of people having issues with the Hytale player option not showing up. This issue might be because one of two reasons. You might not have the latest version of the Hytale Blockbench model, or you might not have the right type of file. This extension only works for models that are specially made for Hytale. So you should have a model with the .blocky model extension, not BB model. If you have an old model like I have right here, this sword.bb model you see is very tall, and right here it's 16 by 16, it's not right, it's not with the Hytale icon right here, and you can see I don't have the option to enable the player model. So to fix this, you just need to go to File, then go to Convert Project, click this button and select Hytale Prop. Click Confirm, and you can see now our sword is much more smaller and we have the Hytale player toggle right over here. Also, another issue that I saw some of you guys having is, let's say I have this model right here and maybe this sword is too small or it's too big and I want to change it. How can I scale my entire sword? Because as you can see, if I have my scaling tool and do this, stuff gets glitchy, doesn't work, or if I drag right here from the middle, it's a mess. So I'm going to undo all of this pressing Ctrl Z. What you have to do is make sure you have the entire object highlighted, place it in a group, select it and it's all highlighted, then go right here where it says transform, click scale, and you will have this menu pop up, and right here from this slider you can scale up your model, scale it up, scale it down, do whatever you want, it's your decision. Quick note guys, if you want this to work, make sure that right here in your UV, right click and make sure that UV mode is per face UV. If it's set to box UV, it won't work, it won't scale correctly. So make sure that right here on UV mode you have per face UV, otherwise the scaling will not work. Okay guys, so now that I've addressed some of the common issues that some of you were having, we're ready to start making our spear right here. The first thing I'm gonna do is go right here to our outliner as usual, add a cube. We have our cube right here. We're gonna press S to go into scaling mode and scale it up a little bit. Something like this maybe, because it's a spear and it's got to be way longer than a usual weapon. I think this should do, this should be enough. Now let's focus on this part right here at the bottom. I'm going to move this one up a little bit so we have space to work right over here. I'm going to add a new element, add a cube, it's right here at the bottom. Now I'm going to move it by 2 spaces, now move it up, and I'm going to use the rotate tool to obtain this sort of shape. It's an interesting shape. I will rotate it by, let's say, 30 degrees, and then move it up by 1, and move it in a little bit. Yeah, now I will scale it up actually. Yeah, this looks a bit more like it. Now I'm going to duplicate this one, rotate it, and make the rotation something like this. Then I'll move it down just a little bit. I want to obtain that shape that you see in the image right there at the bottom. Don't worry about the overlapping, we're gonna fix it later, just like I've shown you in my previous videos. If you've watched my videos, you already know what I'm talking about and how to solve this. Actually, I'm going to rotate it a little bit more this way. Yeah, something like this. This angle should work. Should be working just fine. Now I'm going to select this one, duplicate them, get them over here. I want to rotate this one. I don't want them to be symmetrical. I'll just rotate this one, something like this maybe. Yeah, this should do. And then this one, rotate it again like this. Maybe scale it down a little bit so that it's not symmetrical. Move it like this. A bit more of scaling here. Yeah, this should do. Now let's fix this ugly mess right over here. Let's scale this bad boy by 0.01. Now this guy is gonna get scaled by 0.02 and our issue is easily fixed. Now I'm gonna make those spikes too, because those give some detail to our spear. I think those are gonna make it look way nicer. So we're going to add a new element, add a cube, press G, move it up a little bit. Now drag it over here to the side and we're gonna scale it down. Let's scale it down by maybe 0.5 here, 0.25, no, 0.5 here, and also by 0.5 over here. Yeah, this looks nice. Now I'm going to move it upwards, rotate it. We also need to scale it down this way, maybe by 0.5. Let's move it a bit more inwards. Now right here you see the axes are not helping us. We can choose transform space, set it to local. Yeah, this should do. Yeah, I think this is okay, maybe a bit deeper. Now I'll duplicate this one, go back to global, raise it up a little bit. Now I'll go back into local and make it something like this. Yeah, this looks good. I'm also going to scale it down a little bit again so that it's not symmetrical. It gives us a bit more of a natural look. Now I'm going to select this. No, I'll select this one and go into G for moving, go to global, duplicate it, move it right over here, go into rotate. Let's give it a rotation, something like this. Again, I don't want it to be symmetrical. Let's move it this way. Yeah, I think this should do, maybe a bit more upwards. Then I'll shift duplicate this one, move it right over here and rotate it. Yep, something like this. Also this one, I'll make its rotation a bit different. Yep, I think this is nice. This should work. Now that we have our handle and our bottom part, let's focus on this giant skull. This is the most important part, I think, because this is the coolest one, let's be honest. So I'll get into the skull. Let's add a cube, move it right about here. And now, how do we do this? Let's scale it up by 0.5 here, 0.5 here, 0.5 here, 0.5 this way, and then let's scale it this way by maybe 3. Yeah, I think no, we need more than 3. Let's say 3.5. Now let's duplicate this one, move it up, move it a bit down. Okay, now they're on top of each other. And let's try to achieve this shape. I'm thinking about maybe rotating this one a little bit. Maybe 10 degrees this way. Yeah, then move it right about here. Yeah, this should do. This should do just fine. Now we're going to shift duplicate this one, rotate it this way by 20. And move it into its position. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this should be more than fine to achieve that shape. Now let's duplicate this one, move it this way. We need to scale this one down a little bit, maybe like this and like this. I want to make the horns right now, so this is too much. Maybe something just like this. This should be fine. Maybe a little bit more on the inside and a bit more of scaling this way. Now we're going to make it also a bit smaller right here, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Or actually no, right here I'm going to leave it like this. Then duplicate this one, lower it down even more. Okay, now we're going to rotate, scale it down, move it again into position. Yeah, I'm thinking this is a bit more better. Let's scale it down this way. Now I think it's a bit too long and I want to achieve that sort of spike. So I think this one is too long actually. Let's make it shorter, so we can get more of a curve and more of a spike going on in there. Move it right over here. And we need to scale things down once again, make it thinner, make it like a horn, make it like a spike. So 0.3, I think 0.3 in each direction should be fine. Maybe this. Yeah, I think this is better. And now I also have to scale this one down by 0.1. Yeah, I think this looks better, but now let's make this one again shorter. Yeah, maybe like this, duplicate it, rotate like this, press G, lower it. It's starting to take shape, but I think actually I'm going to rotate it a little bit more and go towards the final shape right now. Maybe I need to make it way more smaller to get that spike going on. So by 0.3, 0.3, then press G, move it up. Yeah, I think it's starting to get that shape, but we'll add one more piece so that we have an actual spike going on in there. So we're going to move it right over here, then scale it down this way, 0.2, 0.2 this way by 0.1, 0.1, press G, let's move it on the local axis, something like this. And I'm thinking about adding one more piece because it needs to be more, even more like a spike. So I'm going to duplicate this one, move it on this axis, scale it down by 0.4, 0.2, 0.2, scale it this way also by 0.2, again right over here by 0.2. Should we add another one? Let's take a closer look. I think it's enough. Yeah, this is good for me. Now, do we have any overlap here? Yeah, we do. So let's inflate this by 0.01 to get rid of the overlap. Let's inflate this one also by 0.02 because why not, just to make sure. And now I'm going to select each one of these parts, shift duplicate them and move them. Actually, before moving them, I got them all highlighted. Let's add them into a group. Let's name this group horn 1. And now we're just going to select horn 1, duplicate it, and we have our horn 2 right over here. Then going to the rotate tool, and we want to get a full rotation, which means 180 degrees. Let's move it 180 degrees then. That would be 180. Yeah, this should do. Let's also press G, move it here. This looks really nice. I like how it's looking. I like the shape. I think we should work a bit more on the skull right here. Or no, I think the texturing should solve everything we have right here. Also, I'm going to shift duplicate this one, lower it, and I want to achieve an even more natural transition right over here. So let's scale it down by, let's say, 0.2 in each direction. Now press G, move it upwards. And also, I'm thinking about some rotation for the entire skull. Let's see. Things got a bit messy here, but we're gonna solve them. Let's see. This is actually part of horn 1. We didn't get it. Oh, it's a duplicate? What? Delete? Okay, that was my mistake. This one is also a duplicate. Oh, I think I know what I did. I duplicated it by mistake. Okay, now these ones are the one that we want to select. Let's highlight them, add them to the group skull. And now with all of these selected, I would like to make a small rotation over here to all of them. Maybe 45. Oh, but I didn't. No, that doesn't work. No, forget that. That's not what I wanted. Now we should focus on the spear. For the spear, actually, I have a good idea. I'm thinking about using the quad feature. I added a new quad. Let's move it with G. Also, I want to give it a different color because I'm starting to get dizzy with the same colors everywhere. Let's make it purple. And now with our quad right here, the interesting part is that when texturing, we can remove individual blocks by actually using the eraser right here in Paint. You're gonna see a bit later with the eraser we can actually remove pixels, and we're going to achieve this shape way easier. So let's make this one a bit taller, something like this, because we always got plenty of time to work. No, maybe something like this. This should do. Maybe one more on the sides. Now we're going to shift and duplicate this, rotate. Oh my god, this pivot point, center this pivot, rotate it 90 degrees, scale it down, -3 here, -3 here, and 0.5, actually a bit more scaling. I'm thinking 0.2. Yeah guys, one mistake that I've made is I've made those quads way too small. Now I've changed them and I'm going to do the texturing. So for that we're going to go right here to create texture, name our texture spear texture, pixel density we'll set it to 64, click confirm, and now we're ready to texture. As you can see with our eraser right over here, we can erase individual pixels right over here in our quads. So now I'm going to texture our spear. And we are finally done. I think it ended up looking pretty decent. Maybe right here at the eyes and the nose of the skull I could get a bit more detailing in there, but for now I'll just leave it like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this tutorial. Please consider subscribing, clicking the like button and joining the Discord server, link in the description. See you in the next one.